You tried to give me the slip, didn't you, my friend? There was no way I was going to miss this.
Terrence Buck. Shoot. Not too many. Here we go, round one. Who's going to land the first big shot? He just misses with that jab. Hook misses. That hook's blocked. Nice counter punch right up the middle. All the talking has been done. It's time to start doing the walking.
You have certain fighters that are born for this, that are made for the big crowd. And look in that corner right there, that is that fighter right there. They have elevated, lifted, in fact, they're not touching the ground. This is what they were born for.
Those counter punches have to hurt. This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Very close match. It shows the skill, the discipline, the respect both fighters have for each other, because no one dares do anything out of turn.
Can't find a home for that jab. The right hook just missed. Someone's will cave, but which fighter will it be? This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. I promise you, all three jump. And there's the bell to start round two. That round was complete domination. Let's see if we can shake things up here in this round.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
They have got great ring IQ. Counterpunchers are the best.
Hook misses. Jab does not score. Nice counter shot. Halfway through the round, Sugar Ray is down. So they'll make it up, and this fight continues.
Corner needs to think nice and sharp. They know their fight. They know what their fight is capable of doing and what their fight can and cannot take. This is going to be a tough decision to make.
Neither one of them want this to go to the judges' scorecards. Not the best of rounds with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Leonard in that. Let's get it started in round three. They really got banged up last round. What can they do here to change the momentum?
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle, man. He's got to bluff it.
fighter focuses on that outside game. You don't see them get hit too often. You don't see them in trouble a lot. But that's what their mantra is.
These are my kind of fight. He's boxing on the edge of the ring, using the jab, using the footwork, moving left to right. It's like a bull in a matador.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Can't score with that jab. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. Well, he is in big trouble. And there's the bell to start round 4. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet, not until your senses have come back.
They both want the knockout. The straight right just misses. Insane action. Well, Johnny, we're a couple rounds in. What are you seeing so far?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Both men step back for just a moment. Beautiful counter shot. They both want a highlight reel knockout. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. They won't give us a second to catch our breath. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. Well, we're entering desperate. Back into the fray here in round 5. Not the start that they wanted, but let's see what they can do in this round.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Well, Johnny, I know it's still early on, but have you been surprised by anything you've seen?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? So much for boxing. This is a fist fight. So far, both of these fighters have had their moments.
perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Straight right just misses. Jab misses. That left-handed jab doesn't quite score. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. At this point, you got to believe he can't win on the scorecards. Going to need a knockout.
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
Nice round. Good round. I like that. Good round.
He looks better. He's not in your league. Gosh, looks like a beautiful. He said, it's not just stick up a few body shots in there. Just switch on. Get this boxer.
Here we go in the 6th round. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pass until your legs come back.
Whoa, Johnny, take a look at this action. Sugar Ray Leonard dazed. Just one punch away from getting the momentum back.
Being dazed now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Perfect counter lands. You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Missing with the hook. The courage on display here is incredible. Missing with the hook. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. That was almost a 10-8 round. Complete dominance.
You can't...
Here we go, it's round 7. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain then.
Big hook. Good thing it didn't land. And he misses with that jab. The halfway point, and both of these fighters know the round is still up for grabs.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Nope, that jab not going to score. Well, just Just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
Missing with this round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. And a round that seemed like he... And there's the bell for round 8. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
You'd like to see more jabs. That right hook won't score. Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
And they figure out the combination to this safe.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Right hook misses. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Needs to put some combination work together. One punch. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. So it was certainly close. A big majority win.
I didn't think it was going to be that close. I really didn't. I thought this was a one-sided fight. It was...